this is your wake-up call. You want to stand up before you fall. You want to start walking before you crawl. I hope you hear me, but you may not get it at all. So this is your wake-up call. You want to stand up before you fall. You want to start walking before you crawl. I hope you hear me, but you may not get it at all. I'm down with the rhyme, cutting up words in my mind, traveling through time, never knew what I'd find. Didn't care, didn't mind, didn't drop no dime, nor commit no crime, nor mimic no mime. This ain't yours, this is mine, and this is a sign. It's where I draw the line, between I'm okay and I'm fine, between I'm cruel or I'm kind, between a complaint or a whine, or to eat or to dine, or to dig or to mine. I'm counting to 99, it's how many lines I'm gonna rhyme, and it's these words that attach to the vine, the truth that leaves you in a bind, soaks up the fluid in your spine, but doesn't dull your mind or steal your shine. So this is your wake-up call. You want to stand up before you fall. You want to start walking before you crawl. I hope you hear me, but you may not get it at all. I'm coming in the back door. I don't want you, I want more. I don't care if I've been poor. That's not the excuse I live my life for. That's not the end that's in store. That's not the blood that I'll pour. That's not the message that I'll roar. This is not an effort. This is not a chore. I'm not in this to be another rap bore, counting down how many words that they have swore, as if there's someone out there actually keeping score, or somehow they're in a rap war. Like you're so tough, but what you tough for? They're trying to make the connection, but it's the connection they tore. It's like they're pouring salt into an open sore. They're decked out on the outside, but where's the core? And if that's all you got, I don't want more. So this is your wake-up call. You want to stand up before you fall. You want to start walking before you crawl. I hope you hear me, but you may not get it at all. You're trying to walk off an all-night bender, while I'm yelling no retreat, no surrender. And your mother's suffering, but you can't defend her. You don't have a phone, so there's no message you can send her. And in the end, it's only sorrow that you will ever lend her, because you've grown too cold to ever be tender. And really the truth is that you're just a pretender, and in this life you'll never be a contender. Just one more sorry Twitter trender, one more pathetic drug depender, too dull in the mind to ever be a mind bender. Do you get the picture my lyrics are trying to render? Or are you too caught up in my identity gender, still looking for someone to be your money lender? Your brain too broken for you to ever mend her. You could have been the manager, but now you're just the vendor. You're the ingredients in the cup while I am the blender. In this game I'm both the beginning and the ender. I'm the elevator going up while you're just the descender. You're far too stoned to ever be a comprehender. Your drug turned out to be your brain apprehender. Your rolling papers just the flag of your surrender. I thought you stood out, but pot just made you a blender. While I am the message, you're just the resender. So this is your wake-up call. You want to stand up before you fall. You want to start walking before you crawl. I hope you hear me, but you may not get it at all. So is that all the reasons you use your dope for? Is that the only way you can cope for? Pot is the hangman, and that's what they use the rope for. Don't forget to wash it off your hands, because that's what they use the soap for. I used to use pot, but now that's what I use nope for. When I dropped the drug, there was no longer a reason to mope for. When I found my life, there was no longer something I needed to hope for. I'm no longer crawling around in the dark, trying to find something to grope for. Like the ball at the party that no longer has a reason to stroke for. And a world that's so lost that you no longer need a globe for. When you don't need to suffer, because that's the part in the Bible they had Job for. Or they crucified Christ after someone got the money they sold his robe for. And when you run out of money, is that what you scrape your pipe for? And the lyrics you write to glorify pot, but what's all the hype for? You're just fools buying someone's lies, because that's what you're right for. Buying your medical marijuana license on the net, because that's what you Skype for. Spitting a load of shit that you'll need a lot of toilet paper to wipe for. Crying everyone's against me because you need something to gripe for. Just another reason you can claim you need pot for. While you hide your lies you tell yourself and never been caught for. While they lengthen the medical list that pot can be bought for. Like it's a cure for everything, and that's what it's sought for. And the doctors just need to catch up, so they need to be taught more. And the kid thinks he's more intelligent because he has some weed because he bought more. But he can't do the math, and he can't get a job to sign in the dot for. And he's copped out of life because he no longer believes there's anything to be fought for. While the guy down the street steals $20 a weed, and that's what he's shot for. And if you think weed's a mind opener, I'm going to tell you now, that's not what it's for. Buying a bunch of stoners' belief in conspiracy theories is not something I thought for. So this is your wake-up call. You want to stand up before you fall. You want to start walking before you crawl. I hope you hear me, but you may not get it at all. Let's start the discussion, but that's only if you remember the topic. We're talking about weed and not the vacation you took in the tropic. If pot were a pregnancy, it would be entopic. The doctor would look at the mother and then say, stop it. Meanwhile, you're out in your neighborhood trying to find a way to cop it, believing it's the miracle drug and nothing can top it. But it's a bus going nowhere and you're far too willing to hop it. A stain on the floor, but there's no one willing to mop it. I'm sorry to be the one to take your bubble and pop it, but the hype around weed is really about nothing but profit. Just ask the guy in your neighborhood who's far too willing to chop it. I'd pass you the ball on this one, but I'm far too sure you just drop it. You think you know the whole story, but someone has chosen to crop it. I'll paint you a picture because the picture you have is not it. Before you put all your money on weed and then you pot it. If you think it's a cure for cancer, then what happened to Bob Marley because he got it? He smoked enough weed to become a pot plant, and still he never fought it. If you're looking for truth, then his death is the place where you should have sought it. Because whatever you smoke, the smoke has carcinogens in it, and you bought it. And the only thing you're interested in about the plant is the high you get off it. And if they made it into a medicine without the high, then you just scoff it. So this is your wake-up call. You want to stand up before you fall. You want to start walking before you crawl. I hope you hear me, but you may not get it at all. So let's get real about the hype, which is really all about the stone. You've been running from yourself and it's you that's never been known. You sold yourself for the high and that's all you'll ever own. You'll never resolve your past, you'll just make a boulder out of a stone. And I get it, you don't know anything better because you've never been shown. But the high you get from pot is only a loan. One day the pain will rise up and it will chill you clear to the bone. And if you ever stop using, you'll realize that you've never grown. That you had a chance in life, but it's your future that you have thrown. And sadness and pain is all the tomorrow that you'll have ever sown. So this is your wake-up call. You want to stand up before you fall. You want to start walking before you crawl. I hope you hear me, but you may not get it at all. So this is your wake-up call. You want to stand up before you fall. You want to start walking before you crawl. I hope you hear me, but you may not get it at all.